You are now soaring into the adventures of Mr. Ahnansi and Mr.Wp. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
So today, for the episode, what we're going to be talking about is kind of getting into it, what made us kind of start our adventure.
Yeah.
So kind of a little introduction that we did previously in the intro. Not really an introduction because it was just a regular intro, but basically we got this idea of like, you know, we both been traveling a lot.
Yep.
And we was like, what if we started talking about all the places we've been so far, and then going forward, all the new adventures that we're going to be doing.
Right.
So what was like, no, because I'm about to get married.
Long story short,
So basically, that was that, you know? He was like, no, because I'm about to get married. But after I get married, we could talk more about it.
Yeah.
You know, so this has been like, what, 2 months in planning?
It's like 2 months in the making right now, but now it's finally coming into full circle right now. Yeah.
And you know, me and Will have known each other since freshman year of college.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been a few years now. It's more than almost the same amount of fingers I have right now. Yeah, it's.
Right.
What was that? Since 2010?
2010, 2K10.
2K10.
When he
I
lost.
actually don't remember who was on the cover, but who's counting right now? I don't.
He lost to me. He lost to me in that game. That's why he doesn't want to remember, but it's okay. So yeah, pretty much we know each other since 2010. Both went to the same college where we were fortunate enough to be able to be roommates.
Right.
So that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we both went in with one major. We came out with the other.
Yeah, I remember. What did you want to do?
I went in majoring in English, and I have no idea why. It's funny. It was mass communications, but turns out it's not exactly what I wanted. I saw my good old buddy roommate over here, Felix, was trying to study for chemistry, and long story short, that didn't work out either.
No, it didn't work out at all. Not one bit. Yeah, it's crazy because I remember there were nights where, and I think I have the picture, and if I have the picture, I'll post it in the video that we have, the video version of this, which will be found on YouTube. I'll post the video, that image of that Will took of me that first day we moved in, and I had like a headset on. I was sitting pretending to be studious with the glasses on. That was the days where the fads of like wearing fake glasses were in, so you know your boy had to get one.
The Kanye shades.
Yeah. Beyond the Kanye shit. Yeah, without the rims.
Yeah, with the rims.
With just the rims, no lenses. But yeah, so I remember I was studying for chemistry. I studied for I binge studied for 24 hours or something like that. I stayed up for 2 straight nights.
Yeah, that wasn't me, guys. I just went right to sleep.
Yeah, well, this dude could sleep anywhere.
Almost anywhere. Yeah. I can't sleep standing. Fun fact.
Right, so. Yeah, he could sleep anywhere. We have some crazy stories about that. Hopefully we could get one of our other friends, Ross, to join us one day, and we could talk about some of the crazy stories we had. But yeah, so that's how we go back. We have some crazy college stories that, you know, if the audience want, we could share. Some of the fun stuff we did, torture our RA, which was not good because eventually we both became RAs.
How ironic, huh?
Right? So yeah, we have some crazy stories. But yeah, I studied chemistry and then realized that was not it. Immediately after sophomore year. I remember exactly where I was at when I made the phone call to my dad to let him know that wasn't it for me. Came out, did computer science and IT. I think it went in international business, and I think that it was going pretty well. So yeah.
Yeah, as same on my side, I realized towards the second semester of my freshman year, I was like, no, this is not the move for me to do English as a major. But I fell in love with graphic design because I was in a Tagaste program at Assumption. That's where we both went. And from there, in this program, they will combine English class with like a form of art, like an art studio. So I did like drawing in the first semester and then painting in the second semester. But also took a little elective, which was graphic design. That's where I actually was in my first class with Roz. Hopefully, like Felix mentioned, we could get Roz on this podcast to discuss
Which
some
you
stuff.
guys probably don't, because he just be speaking nonsense.
But long story short, I fell in love with the art of graphic design, and from there, I just kept it going with the path to being a graphic designer. Majored in that, and now I have my own small business, WP Designs. It used to be WHP Designs, but just due to like, I call it searching my soul. That's why I've been doing for the past few months of like what was the true meaning of like what my brand was and actually is to this day. So now it's just WP Designs.
So yes, we got a whole rebrand going on over here.
Brand alert.
Brand, and yeah, so basically Mr. Ahnansi came from for those who I have a nonprofit, Ahnansi Inc., dedicated to helping the youth find their motivation and ambition and dedication to like whatever their outlet is and what they want to do. Some of the things that we didn't learn in high school and college, and basically that's what I do. And I donate, I go out, volunteer, do talks, all that fun stuff. And I actually have another podcast, the Entrepreneur Podcast, that I've been doing, talking to different entrepreneurs, business tips, financial tips, which Will and I will probably get into that as well on this podcast, because it all goes towards like our adventure.
Right.
You know, I know it's like this is our first one, so sorry, bear with us, man. 6 minutes in, we haven't talked about anything but ourselves, a little narcissistic, but it is our podcast.
Right.
So, if you want, you can skip ahead now and to listen to the rest of the fun stuff.
We can't tell you exactly what time to skip it to, because this is live right now.
This is live right now. So in the future, I will tell you when to skip it to. So basically, so that's pretty much a little bit about us, and you know, we don't want to give it all away. We gotta give the people what they want, as Jalen and Jacoby would say.
Right.
And eventually, you guys will learn more about us as we go through this journey together. So a little fun stuff we could start off here. So Will, what made you let's dive right into adventures. You know, we both went to the same college. I didn't know you as like the adventurous type. You were more of like, I'm gonna sit and design and create beats. I remember those days.
I used to be a beat maker.
Create beats and draw arts and stuff. So what made you, like, the last couple of years kind of start doing all the adventure stuff?
The adventure stuff. It's funny because the traveling really didn't start till after college. So even like within the 4 years that I was in college, it was just me being there, like Felix mentioned, just doing my designs, just doing my classwork, homework, whatever, group projects. It all came just literally doing that stuff. When outside of school, I realized like all I was doing was just work. My girlfriend at the time, but now it's my wife, she mentioned, hey, we should start going places and whatnot. And I literally was just like the stoop kid, like that never wanted to leave the stoop. I was like, I'm not sure, not yet. I am not 100% sure if I should leave or whatnot. I was comfortable. That was where I was during that time of my life. I was just comfortable as I was in my location, in my little tiny room in Boston, just doing designs and just going to work and coming back home and playing video games. That's what I used to do all the time. But the first trip that I actually got to was my wife's sister-in-law's birthday. Ooh, thank you. Ooh, clutch.
Just water, man.
Oh, it's the secret stuff. The secret water, guys. Space Jam. If you haven't watched Space Jam, please watch it.
So random. But yeah, so your wife?
Oh yeah, so my wife, we was actually planning a trip Well, she wanted to start planning the trip for her. Well, now my sister-in-law, for her birthday, and we went to Montreal.
Yeah.
And at first, it was like a in the moment thing too. It wasn't like planned like months ago. It was probably like at least a few weeks in advance, and I was kind of nervous at it because, like I mentioned, I've never been outside the country, yet alone haven't been outside of probably like the New England region on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point, I took the risk. I took the jump because I told myself, I said, if I'm going to be with this person the rest of my life, I have to like do things that I'm not comfortable doing. And from that point, even though it wasn't a plane ride, it was a bus. We took a bus from the Back Bay area all the way up to Montreal. So we passed New Hampshire, Vermont.
How long was that trip?
I think it was about an 8-hour drive.
With a bus?
Yeah,
I
think I fell asleep and it felt like it was forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it was the same distance to Toronto from here.
Did you guys cut through?
No, we drove. Well, we drove.
Yep.
We drove, but it was regular. I went through upstate New York.
Yeah, so you cut through Buffalo. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it was a regular, like, and I drove. Like, I didn't take a bus.
Yep.
Because I remember when I was planning my trip, I asked you, like, how did you guys get
to Canada?
And you was like, a bus. I'm like, a bus?
Yeah, so, and then what happened was they would drive, and then certain locations they would stop for a while.
And it still took you 8 hours?
I think it was 8 hours. I don't know. Like, it's...
Wow.
For
That's pretty short, because it took me 8 hours without stopping. Well, I stopped, like, to gas up.
Yep.
But you guys did a whole, like,
I think it was 8 hours. It was either that or I was asleep for quite the trip. So my sleep time was probably 8 hours. Well, it probably was longer than that. I don't remember. But needless to say,
don't fact check us.
Don't fact check. I probably have to call my wife and ask her. Won't do that now. But yeah, long story short, we traveled from New Hampshire and then we cut through Vermont. That's how we ended up getting to Canada.
Okay.
We went through Vermont. Then it was like the border right there. There was a lot of people that during that day we had to cross the border, and then we had to get out. You have to go through the border. And since you're going to Canada, they actually greet you in 2 different languages, English and then French. They're trying to determine exactly who you are and like what language you speak best. And I wanted to speak in French for 2 seconds just to touch my skills up, but I only spoke in English. I did not want any trouble. But so then, needless to say, we went through there, and then even from after the border, you're still going through the countryside of Canada. It's not directly into the city.
You guys were going to Montreal.
Yep. But you have to literally cut through like country, like literally it's like farms and everything.
I don't know the map, but okay. There's countryside.
Yep.
And what's you guys set the picture for us. I know you're giving us a journey.
Yep.
So you guys are going through Montreal.
Yep.
You start off in the Back Bay, Boston.
Yep.
A little advertisement there from where we're from. And then you go through all these other states.
Yep.
You know, and it's crazy because some people have, at this point, you have already like ventured further than most people. And so you go through all these states. And then you get to Canada, you get your passport check. For those that don't know, you need a passport.
Mm-hmm.
You get a passport check. And then once you entered Canada, at that point, you guys are not even close to Montreal still?
We're not even close to Montreal yet. It's probably like close to another hour to get to Montreal.
So usually, I've been to Toronto twice, and we went through Niagara.
Yep.
Is that where you guys went through?
Nope. They didn't even go through Niagara because, like you said, it was north. You're like going north.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're going northwest.
I don't know the map.
You're going through northwest of New York, and first of all, we didn't even cut through New York, so it's literally
you guys
north of Vermont. Literally, like as you go up, if people are familiar with more of the New England area, it gets more and more country.
Pull the geography up, man. But yeah, go on.
But yeah, as you go more and more up north of the map, it's going more country. Like you're just seeing more terrain and just trees everywhere. And then as soon as you cross the border, the trees are gone, the mountains are gone. It's just flat land all the way to Montreal. Like there's some houses here and there. Like you'll see some cattle, like people like
like farming type of situation.
But for the most part, like all the stuff that we saw during the drive before the border, was no longer there once we got to Canada. It was just, like I said, just
Well,
farm and
Well, that part
flat.
of you know that what part of because you can't just say Canada. What part of that?
Oh, so I wish I need. Once again, we need to see the map.
Look,
I didn't even
look.
I didn't even
You have a
look.
phone right there, man.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm a millennial.
Look. Yeah, so
Let's see.
that's interesting because my first adventure. While you're looking, I'll talk about my first adventure really. So my first adventure was really when I came here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was like when I was young. I'm Ghanaian, and I came here by myself. Like my father and my mom, they put me on a plane, and they gave me to a caretaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I landed here and I was lost, like looking around, like where am I, type of thing. I was very young. But yeah, so I was like kind of the first, and so I didn't know, like I didn't have this sense of like, oh, I'm traveling type of thing, right? So fast forward, besides like the basic going to like New York and all that fun stuff, fast forward, I graduated college and started my job, and my company sent me to Ohio.
Okay.
And,
you know what city?
Fairfield.
Oh, okay.
Fairfield.
Do you know how far that is from like Cleveland or?
I think I did drive. No, I think it's further. I drove through. Where does the Bengal play?
The Bengals. If anyone can answer that before me.
Wherever the Bengals play, I drove through it.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Dayton, Ohio? Is that where they play? Dayton, Ohio?
Bakersfield. Got you. Sometimes we have to verify some stuff, guys.
Yeah. So I landed and I had to drive. So they have this spot right where it's like you go through 3 states at once when you're driving. Not at once, but it's like a point where you eventually drive through the 3 states. I think Kentucky is one. Ohio is the other. I don't want to.
So Cincinnati.
And Cincinnati.
Yep, Cincinnati they play.
Idiot Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. Forgive us, guys. For anyone that's NFL fans, I know it's the NFL season. We're just waking up again for NFL season.
That was hilarious. Where does the Bengals play? Oh, okay. Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, I was like, okay. So, yes, I drove through.
Yep.
But, so that was my first adventure. It was really boring. I was just in the hotel because I was scared to leave, and we could touch on that.
Right.
Later after you talk about yours.
Yep.
But yeah, I was super bored. I just went to work and went straight to the hotel. I ventured like maybe, and I had a car. I had the company card, whatever. I could go wherever and eat.
Yep.
They rented stuff for me, and I was bored. I didn't do anything. I was like, I went to work, got back to the hotel, went to eat, like right by the hotel.
Do you feel like it was just like another day at work, just in a different city?
No, I felt like I was just scared to leave.
Okay.
I was just scared to venture by myself.
Okay.
And so that would go towards like everything that I'm doing now, right? I was just scared to like, cause it was my first ever out like by myself, like traveling.
Right.
And I was really like, not terrified, but I was like scared to like go further away from like the 10-mile vicinity of where I'm supposed to be.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so that was kind of weird. That was a weird experience. I went to this falafel place. I had my first ever falafel.
Oh, falafel.
And I didn't like it when
What?
I first had it. Hold on, when I first had it.
Okay.
I later experienced it in London. Or was it London or Paris? In London, I loved it. But yeah, so that was my first adventure by myself. So I'll let you finish and then we'll get back to. So what was the place you drove through?
So we actually went through Sutton. It's called Sutton, and it's south of Montreal. And from there, I can't pronounce the word in French, but it's basically Saint John.
Saint John.
Yeah, Saint John. And
okay.
from there,
I don't know how to say it.
From there it is another part like half an hour away from Saint John. And yeah, we got to Montreal, and we stayed in Old Montreal. So basically, like the area, like Gay Village. That's kind of like the area. That's what it was called.
What was it called?
It's called Gay Village. Gaye, I believe Ville.
Gay Village.
Yep.
Okay.
And then from that point, well, needless to say, my sister-in-law now, she found out the day of that she was like, we were like, happy birthday, back at home, back in Reading, where my wife used to live. We were like, happy birthday,
Just
gave her a surprise. And then,
man.
they don't know Reading. They probably think Reading, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
But, come on. You gotta give it the flow. More than one same name of the city in the U.S. The U.S. is too big to have only one name for a city.
Don't come find him.
But yeah. So we surprised her just with a cake and whatnot. And he was like, "Oh, we're going to Montreal." She was like, "When?" 4 hours from now. She knew at that very moment.
How do you guys know she had the day off though?
It was...
Oh, like the span off.
We planned everything out. Like, we told... I believe she was working with... The people that she was working with, we told them ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
We also... For somehow, some way, she didn't have a passport. But my wife brought her to get her photo taken.
Like
just because, just on a normal day.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened. My wife is literally a hustler. On the low, she's a trickster. She convinced her to take a passport photo. Little did she know it was actually for the trip for Canada.
Wow.
Yeah. So
maybe that's why she do the Roz.
Yeah.
Because Roz refused to get a passport.
I feel like, yeah, like I said, I'm about to call my wife again. I'm like, yo, how did you do that with her? And then she'll probably break it down like, yeah, we gotta do that with Roz. Because it literally was like, she brought her. Yeah, she brought her and then she brought her sister. But her sister knew. It was just the one that was whose birthday it was. Didn't know. I think because the other sister went. But I don't know. That literally was just like... That's crazy. That was crazy how that all went
You applied for a whole passport and didn't know.
And she didn't even know. But yeah, so we went to Old Montreal. We stayed there. It was a short trip. It was for the weekend. It was a short weekend trip. But it was literally like something I've never seen before. I'm used to seeing more of like an urbanist coming
like
from
buildings.
Boston. Yeah, buildings and whatnot. But this was just like an old like a vintage area. Like I've never, like I said, once again, I've never seen something like this before. Like from the area that we were in, Gay Village, till like we went to the Underground Mall, which is 5 floors underground, like where the subway is, like where the metro is. Yeah, literally, it's I forgot the currency. I believe everything's in pound. Is everything in pound? No, everything's not in pound. I forgot.
Dollar?
Yeah, it's a Canadian dollar. Yeah, everything's in the Canadian dollar. I'm getting, for some reason, I got Canada and the UK messed up right now.
Well, the Queen.
Yeah. But
fine.
yeah. So the Canadian dollar is slightly lower than the US dollar. So some things are a little different than others in terms of price, but not by much.
So all right. So then, when you guys got there.
Yep. The first thing we did.
Well, not even the first thing you did. It's just like the emotional stuff. Let's touch on the emotion, because I was talking about my first trip, like how it's like as an adult, right, by myself, and to some people it's normal. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have this because we all like a lot of times, a lot of guys and and I can speak from that perspective because I don't know the female perspective really. We do a lot of guys trip. Because we're scared, at least from scared to do things by ourselves. Really, a lot of people don't want to venture out by themselves.
Right.
So my first trip, I was saying, was from my job, and then when I went there, I was I didn't leave the 10-mile radius because I was what is out here?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What am I going to see that I'm not going to see back home? Yeah. And so I think that piece right is everywhere is the same. Right. But really, it isn't.
No, it's not.
Because I don't know the exact name, because 5 miles from where I was staying, there was like a jungle gym. Mm-hmm. It's like a grocery store filled with different type of aesthetics. Mm-hmm. It's huge, and my coworkers were telling me to go there. I need to see it. It's it's very popular. Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact name, and I could put the name later, or find out the name for the next pod. But I didn't even go.
Oh wow!
Right,
just because of that, being afraid of leaving.
Yeah, dude, I was literally, I didn't even drive. I drove to work and came back, and then I walked to the falafel place, and I ate falafel, and I ordered pizza.
And you went back to your hotel.
I ordered pizza to deliver to the hotel.
Okay.
Because I didn't like the falafel, you know. So I was like, I'm gonna order pizza, and so I ate pizza for the. And the funny part is, right? I should have went to that grocery place because it was it was a suite. I was staying in the suite by myself, and I had a kitchen because I was there for a week.
Yeah.
I had a kitchen. I had all the amenities of a house, of like an apartment, and I literally just stayed on my Xbox. Went to work, came and stayed on my Xbox, and I just.
You just stayed inside for the most part of the trip,
dude. Literally. So like, did you have that feeling of like? I know you mentioned like this was like your first time leaving,
right?
And you know, so what were you thinking like when Tuz was like, yo, we gotta do this trip?
So basically, like you mentioned, like small trips that you mentioned earlier. Yeah. Before that, I was like, New York.
Yeah.
I mean.
Who hasn't
gone there? That's
if you're
from our area.
Yeah.
New York's like a typical place. I've been to Connecticut prior to that.
Yeah.
But only because I used to play basketball in high school, so it was AAU tournament.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember what part of Connecticut I was in.
Yeah.
It was just for 2 days I was out there. But like in this situation with Montreal, I felt like if I had to compare it to something, it was like literally getting pushed out of a plane. Like.
Oh, okay.
It was at that moment like I already took the step of getting on that bus to Montreal. Like I already like took my
yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
So then I already got my nervousness out of the way from there.
So what scared you though? Like what made you nervous?
The fact that for me personally, there's two things. One, I felt like everything would be the same. Like everything like I felt like everything that I see in Boston, like if anyone knows that Boston's probably like one of the most popular cities in the country.
Yeah.
So like from like living in Boston, like wherever I go outside of it, I feel like it'll just be the same thing. So I'm not missing out on anything.
Yeah.
And then the second reason is tying back up with that is that it was just the fact that I didn't want to leave where I was most comfortable, just in general. Yeah. It was just the comfortability. Yeah. I was fine where I was. I had everything that I needed. I went to school, went home, hung out with my friends. All my friends were there. I played games, my video games.
Yeah.
I literally all my escape was already where I lived, without knowing that my escape could be somewhere beyond from where I live.
Yeah.
And that's why I discovered of this first trip in Montreal, like escaping beyond somewhere that I didn't even realize could be possible.
Yeah. See, and so I didn't recognize that when I was in Fairfield. I did not recognize that. But then, fast forward, I think 2 years later. Mm-hmm. This is where the travel bug sets in.
Oh yeah, that travel bug.
This is where the travel bug sets in. Now that I'm really like thinking about it, I really like where I thought my first journey was, like where I was real, like, so mine was for pleasure. Mm-hmm. Like for pleasure wise, I could talk about that, but the bug kind of set in when I went to Salt Lake City for work. Okay. This was the biggest. It was like a conference, the Adobe Summit. For analytics and stuff, and my job sent me out there again, and I wasn't by myself this time. I was with a coworker who happens to be he's also my mentor, and I have blast with him all the time. Just from like intellectual, we just talk about a lot of stuff. He's not like the type that will like go out to clubs or whatever, but it was really fun because he actually stepped out of his own comfort, and that forced me to be more like, wow, if he could do it, and like, then I can too. Like he was doing things that like he wouldn't do normally.
So let me pause you there. Do you feel like, and this could be like for any listener, like, do you feel like it's best like in a situation like this, like if you want to go, like let's use traveling, like, do you feel like it's best to go somewhere with someone, whereas like trying to go about it yourself, because like walking into the unknown. Yeah. Like.
I think, it depends on your personality. First of all, you know, there's a lot of extroverts out there and there's a lot of introverts, but we all have like little insecurities and like things that, you know, like comforts. So for me, the first time I was by myself, even though I'm an extrovert, I think I'm an extrovert. I'm like, you know, but I also enjoy the pleasure of my own company.
Right. Okay.
So, and because I was terrified, or not terrified, that's a strong word, but because I was scared to like go out beyond by myself in the place I don't know, right? Because I was also very young at the time, right out of college. So because of that, I needed somebody. I think at that point, that will push me beyond that. Because once I stepped out, I'm good.
Right.
That's the thing. Once I'm out, I'm all set.
Yep.
But like the idea of like getting out, it's like, especially when I'm by myself, it's like nah. So when I was with Mark, and he, you know, I remember we went after one of the events. We were doing like a big party, and like little tasting and doing like all the vendors are like doing all these like crazy things, and I didn't expect him to go.
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh, let's go to this, let's go to that." I'm like, "Whoa, where's this guy been?" You know, and so that forced me, to like, you know, because I was just gonna go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Mind you, they had Imagine Dragon playing. This was in the Utah Jazz. Also had the game that night. So I could have even went to a Jazz game, but there was just so much happening with the summit and events.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, so once he pushed me, I'm like, oh, I was like, let's. This when my like extrovertness, if that's even a word, was coming in. I was like, oh my god, let's just buy a ticket right now. Let's go to the Jazz game. You know, you know.
You literally went Richard Branson. You like, screw it, let's do it.
Oh yeah, I was like,
at
yo,
this point, it's just
because we was out there. You know, we went to like whiskey tasting because they were branding, and you know, I won a GoPro at the event. Because we were just doing so many events that involved the whole event.
Yep.
And I was just so immersed in it, right?
Yep.
That's when it started. And then that morning I woke up and I looked at my window because I didn't do this before. And I remember, and I realized, and people correct me if I'm wrong, Utah, Salt Lake is in the middle of like a crater, of like a mountain. It's not a crater, but it's like surrounded by mountains.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And you just see from the hotel view like beautiful landscape, and I was like, wow. You know, like, because the day before I didn't notice that because I was just like focused on what I was doing.
Right.
But once he pushed me out there, I started noticing everything.
Yep.
Like I'll walk out the summit, and I'll just go sit outside and I'll go for a walk. And for people that know me, they know I love walking. Like I just go for it. People are like, oh, how did you lose weight? I just started walking.
Just walk.
Yeah. And so I looked at the landscape, and I was like, wow. And I rented a car. I just drove, and I went to go find a Best Buy, and I bought my first headset, like the school candy, like big ones.
Oh, that's when they were
so,
big.
Dude.
Yeah, they were big that time.
I went all freaking out. Once he pushed me, I was comfortable. I didn't bring my system to this trip, which was also key. Leave all the stuff that will like anchor you.
Right.
Leave it. Bring your circular device, your laptop, and whatever amenities you need to like survive for that trip, and the minimum thing you can possible. And I did that because he advised me, because you know he's older than me and he's done these things. And I was so comfortable.
That's good.
After that trip, it was Vegas for another one, and we'll get into all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really got me going.
Yep.
So yeah, back to your Montreal.
It's funny because when I was in Montreal, since I'm a designer, I'm an artist, I got this mentality of like, now I buy art wherever I go.
Oh.
So I met the first guy I met. He's actually gonna be pretty happy if you know my wife listens to anyone's listening to this. His name's Alejandro. So, Alejandro. But yeah, so I met Alejandro. His style of art is impressionism.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just like multiple paints. It reminds me of what is it? Basically Louisiana, like that kind of vibes with the painting. what's the Bourbon Street?
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street. Literally the paint, like the style of the painting.
Yeah.
Like just all the paintings that was going around, like within like his theme style of the painting. And I met him and we just literally chopped it up. We were just discussing like his style, like what I want to do.
Yeah.
With my art, and it felt different because it felt different comparing to like talking to someone here. And it's just like hearing his story of like how he got to be where he was. Like he was literally just painting in the streets. On a busy Saturday, while everyone's literally walking up and down old Montreal next to the pier, and here's this guy literally like with a long part with a curly mustache, just literally painting up and down. Remind me of one of the Simpson characters, painting up and down. And I looked at his stuff, and at first I walked away. Like I asked about the painting and whatnot. And then we walked away. We just wanted to experience more of Montreal because we literally wanted to experience all of it during the day. When we going back to the hotel, I saw him still painting different stuff, and I was like, "How much is for this painting?" Like it was like literally caught my eye the whole time, and it caught my eye when I came back. Yeah. And he actually gave me a really good price of it because I came back. Yeah. I expressed my interest. Yeah. I went into another discussion with him, and not only that, but I got a photo with him. Yeah. So I could probably show you the photo. That photo I have. Yeah, we're gonna add it in the video. We're gonna add it towards the end, like. Once all this is all said and done, we'll put that photo there too. But yeah, that was just fun. Like walking on the bridge near the pier. Like there was so much events happening at the pier. We were paddle boating in the water. It just felt like
you could swim.
Oh yeah, I actually could swim. I learned that in third grade. They threw me in the water and that was it.
All right.
No, not you.
No. I could survive. I could float.
You could survive.
I could float.
Okay.
I could survive. I learned in 6th grade and 7th grade, but I'm not near any body of water to like. So it's like once you learned it and once those courses were over,
you don't need it anymore.
Yeah. So it's like I really didn't commit after because I was like, oh, it's just a class, and so I learned how to thread water and float. I didn't really take it serious. And
so do you like the beach then?
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, do you swim in the beach?
Hell no.
You just.
You find me with my floaties. And,
okay.
I'm splashing around like so.
Okay.
I'll come back.
All right, that's what's up.
I actually haven't been to the beach all summer.
Oh wow. It was hot. I've been a few times, and it was somewhat hot, but then it'll cool down because you're next to the water.
The first time I went to the beach was for your wedding. This summer.
For this summer?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I got married, if you didn't know.
Yeah, we said that earlier.
Yeah, but just a friendly reminder.
That's a friendly nobody needs to be reminded that you got married. It's between...
Fun fact, guys, it was a month ago. So
nobody used to be... Just a fun fact. I was married a month ago. They're going to stop busting your chops like they did with Chance the Rapper. Dude made a whole album about his wedding and being married. With
dude, we already know.
But then people are killing him about it. That's crazy. But it's fine. I think happiness is good.
Yeah, as long as you like to, for me, I like to express. A little off topic. I like to express how I feel all the time. In this case, I love my wife, and I don't know how many times.
This ain't time for you to plug.
Hey.
Your love for your wife.
I know. I just plugged. Let me plug out real quick. My bad. But yeah, Montreal. I had poutine there.
Oh, poutine.
Poutine, yes.
Is it poutine or poutine?
I'm pretty sure they said poutine when I.
Okay, all right. Well, poutine might be something else.
Sounds dangerous, Felix. So if any of you guys may or may not know, it's literally if you know, so it's French fries with the gravy on top.
Gravy, yeah. And you like it?
Yeah, I loved it, man.
Dude, okay, so all right, let's sync up. So my trip to Canada.
Yep.
So this was for my 25th, I want to say my 25th birthday.
Okay.
So at this point, I've traveled to DR.
Okay. Yep.
And we could talk about that later. I've been to DR. I went to DR, and then that same. Oh no! I went to Canada before DR. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Toronto. Yep.
Yeah. So I went to Toronto before DR because that was for my birthday, my 25th. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I just got up, and at that time, my significant other, we basically I was like, yeah, I want to travel because I caught the bug doing it for work, and I made a promise to myself after that I would go to. I started like, oh, you know what? I'll do one country, a year with one state, a year just to get my little
get your feet in.
Get
the
my
water.
feet. Yeah. Oh man. By the end of that year, I had eclipsed. It by a mile. You know what I mean? And it was crazy. So my birthday in October, went to Toronto, and basically we went to Toronto and did all that fun stuff. Drove 8 hours. And then everything like it was beautiful, man. Because they had like little communities for everyone.
Right.
That's one thing I noticed. Toronto is one of my favorite cities. Like everybody, I'm pretty sure a lot of people that go will tell you that it's one of my favorite cities. They speak more of like English.
Right.
And I think in Montreal it's more French.
Yeah, they're more French based there.
Yeah, and we walked everywhere.
Okay.
We walked everywhere. Like we went to this club. We went to I don't know the name of it, but it's Drake's restaurant.
I'm not familiar with it.
So Drake has a restaurant out there in Toronto.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
And we actually missed him by like a couple hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he was there.
Aubrey.
Yeah, so he had it booked out. He had some friends, and because he had the festival going as well. Because October is when
the old festival.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So we missed him there, but it was amazing. Like the nightlife was amazing. The people. So we went to the MoMA Museum, similar to the MoMA Museum.
Yep.
And one of the most amazing thing was ask. Right, and this before we could sync up with the poutine stuff. But how was your experience with the people? Because mine was just phenomenal. This one I really knew like Canadians are friendly.
Right.
Was actually true. They are friendly.
They're really friendly
like
guys.
Beyond nice. Like it took like, and I've hung around Turkish people, and I'm not going to indict all Turkish people, but I've had bad experience in Turkey recently. So that jogged my memory in the past of like this Turkish dude I met in Toronto. I told him it was my birthday, and so he basically approached us and he was like, "Oh, like," because he saw like we were all having fun. We started having conversation outside. Clump. You step outside, you talk to everybody.
Right, everybody.
And then he approached us because we was having conversation with somebody else, and he said, "Oh, I heard you guys from the state. How was it there? Blah blah blah." So we ended up talking about like culture and racism and all that stuff.
Right.
And off of this guy's mouth, he's like, "Oh, yeah, here in Canada, we, you have to conform to being really nice." I'm like, "What do you mean? You're not Canadian?" And he was like, "Well, I came from Turkey. And Turkish people are not nice." And I'm like, "Whoa!" And this is from the guys telling you that, right? So Turkish people are not nice. And I'm like, "Why? Why you say that?" He was like, "Well, when I came here, like the kindness that people were like showing me, like people were friendly, how they talk to you, and people might have different experiences, but he was like, it was just phenomenal." And so he was like, people go their way to do things for you. And I thought it was just him. The next, like throughout the whole trip, everybody we met went out their way to do things for us. Like this guy took us to another nice spot. He paid for our entry fee, paid for drinks.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy cow. And there was a fight outside of the club. The police officer just stood there and watched. And then he walked up to them and was like, "You guys done?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "You guys done?"
Yeah, that's not like that here.
And then he was like, apparently, so the guy was like, "Yeah, there was no knife, there was no nothing, it was a fist fight." Fun fact, in Seattle, speaking of fist fights, in Seattle, there's a rule. There's a law in Washington. There's a law. If you approach somebody and I forgot what exactly you have to say. I have it on recording. You have to say something. You say something. Mutual combat. There's something called mutual combat.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like that in Toronto, but there's something called mutual combat. And if somebody agreed to a mutual combat, you can fight them. Yeah.
Some Game of Thrones stuff.
And as soon as there's some blood, as soon as you gotta stop, but you gotta have a witness.
What?
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. So everything kind of ties in. But back to so that's when we walked to the poutine place.
Okay.
Yeah, long story to the poutine place. That's how we got to the poutine place.
Okay.
And I did not like it.
What?
First of all, I was drunk and I was in the line, and I did not like it.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I didn't like it.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
it was not. not for me.
You had a long night before, you know.
No.
That's
It
what probably
wasn't.
happened.
It wasn't for me, man.
What?
I've tried it because it's made its way for some reason. It made its way to the States.
Yeah, and it's not good in the States. I feel like honestly, there's too much salt here. They add too much salt here in the States. Yeah, and I'm just like that's why I don't like it here. I like it there, but not here. For some reason, there first of all the potassium, it's not there. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just the salt. Yeah, literally the salt's not there. It's not there as much as it is here in the United States, unfortunately. Well, for us, United States is unfortunate, but there it's literally like everything felt like freshly made.
Yeah.
Like the fries, all the way to like how the gravy was like made, and like we actually had cheese on top too.
Okay.
On top of with the French fries, it was literally bomb. And this was all like literally outside of the hotel.
I'm hungry now.
Oh, you can't order while we're on the podcast. We have to feature the delivery person too. Depends on the podcast.
Hey, come in, sit down.
But so from like you mentioned, from Salt Lake, that's where the bug literally just erupted.
Yep.
And from that point on, like, can you like list like some of the like other places like you mentioned DR you went to?
Yeah, so DR was a B-day birthday gift to my my significant other at the time.
Yep.
And you know it was amazing. It was more of like views, right? We got ripped off.
Okay.
I want to like touch on peoples in these places, like the amount of the people you have met in these trips. You mentioned Alejandro.
Yep.
I mentioned the Turkish person.
Yep.
I also back to the Canada one, Toronto. We met this other person at the museum, and he asked us like, "Oh, so what are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm African. I'm Ghanaian." The typical answer I give, and I was like, "Okay, cool." So then my ex at the time was like, "Oh, such and such," and then he was like, "No, more details."
Her answer wasn't good enough.
Yeah, he was like more details, and I thought this was just him, but we experienced that a lot in different places because they want to know. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm Canadian,
yes,
but I'm West Indies." With blah 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 with South African or something, or some crazy mixture.
They're waiting for the top end.
Yeah, like okay, you're Canadian. Your nationality is Canadian, but what is your your origin, right?
Right.
You're not just white. You're not just black. Like what are you?
Yep.
Right. You're not just Hispanic. What are you?
Yep.
Right. So I find it to be very interesting. That kind of stuck with me. So now everywhere I go, I ask that question now. Like when I travel, I ask that question like, oh, obviously if you go to Ghana and you see, I'm not gonna ask that question, but
they're gonna look at you with three heads like, I said what I said.
I'm like, Charlie, go somewhere. It's too hot for you to be asking me all these questions. But yeah, but if I go to like somewhere where it's like a tour, like for example, I'm in London, right, where it's like a melting pot, I'll ask those questions like but my second trip after that, that was DR.
Yep.
And that really was like, again, I was blazing the trail for like what was to happen that year. So DR was really dope. We went to a place. Basically, it's in the middle of the ocean. It's I forgot where two of the water body of water meets.
Okay.
And because of the temperature, and some weird geographic thing that happens, you could actually stand in the middle of the ocean.
Oh yeah. Okay. I get you. Yeah, I've been through.
It freaked me the hell out. Yep. It freaked me out. And you had all these people in the middle of it, like partying up. There's both surrounding music, playing servers, and I'm like,
You know what's funny? When my first time experiencing that too was in DR.
See, yo.
Yeah, it was in DR.
Yo.
And now I think about it, I went to Solona. That was
Okay.
the island that I went to. But needless to say, we drove a boat, and before I let you get back, we drove a boat there, like with a group of people, a group of other tourists from the resort that we stayed at, and they were like, "Okay, guys, time to get off the boat." Like, what are you talking about? We're in the middle of the ocean.
I'm like, yo, that was the same
I know how to swim, but dang, no
goddamn,
life jacket or anything. Yeah, we got off and we just started standing up. I was like, "Oh, this is different. This is different." Okay.
See, so it's not the same. It literally isn't the same anywhere you go. You know what I mean? So, you know, I know we're running along here, 50 minutes into this, but yeah, like that's kind of like where everything kind of started, and then next part we could catch up from there. But that's kind of where everything started. Was like that Ohio trip. I was kind of scared. I met like the most crazy people after that in Salt Lake. You know, I learned more about the Mormon culture.
Right.
Out there, and we went to a few museums. As I like to say, they have this. So when you summit, like I summited right when I was there. Like it's like, you know, I went in, I did literally everything involved with the summit, with the conference. I was everywhere. I got books, I got pods, headphone, like earbuds.
Right.
I got freaking my GoPro. Like I won all these things. I won a bottle of whiskey. I won, you know, like I won so much stuff that when I was coming back home, I had to get like a second bag to put stuff in.
Did you check? You had to check that bag too, right? Or did you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I had no choice.
Yeah.
But I had a book bag and a roller, and another bag, and I was just I summited right, you know. And then after that was like trips after trips.
Exponentially.
So the last 5 years, like I've exploded out of like who like I thought I was, like who I am now. Right. Like I can't sit still now. Like this year, I haven't sat still for more than 3 months. And we could get that. We could get more into it as we talk about this, but but yeah, no. So for you, did that Toronto trip? That Montreal trip kind of sparked that same energy?
Oh yeah, it sure did, because the following trips, it was like some stuff. It was like within, like it was like Miami that I went to, never been there a few times now.
I didn't like Miami, and we could talk about that.
Yeah, I have pros and cons about Miami, but personally, like, needless to say, I liked it because since I'm an artist, I like the Wynwood area. Okay. So that's basically just like art galore. Yeah. For people, like, that's artsy. Like, it's literally like its own mini town, mini city, like where you just see like literally murals everywhere you go, like the whole strip. But anyway, from Miami, from that point, my wife, once again, she was like, we need to go somewhere else. Let's go bigger. Instead of a bus, we took a boat. We went on a cruise. So from the cruise, the first cruise that we did was a short cruise. We was just, once again, putting our feet in the water. We went to the Bahamas for that point. And I was like, girl, come on. I went from one border to the next. I don't know if I'm going to go from out of the state to an island now. That's crazy. But once again, I jumped out of the plane. I took the risk because, once again, it's somewhere that I've never been. It's something that I don't want to turn back later on, like go later on in life, and that's one of the things I missed out on, like a FOMO, like fear of missing out. So it's like, yeah, let's do it. So we went on the trip, and I tell you now, it was literally I have not only have the travel bug, I have the cruise bug. So like now, my family right now is actually on Carnival, so they went to the Virgin Islands and DR. Now I literally, like, I'm sitting here and it's downpouring, raining almost every day, or the weather's like changing. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm so jealous right now. Yeah. So we booked the trip. Yeah. We booked the trip for the fall. We booked the trip to the Bahamas again. Speaking of that, we're going to the Bahamas. Wow. Yeah.
So there's I forgot his name. It's called The Patriots Act. It's a show on Netflix. Okay. He's a comedian. Okay. He just did a thing on cruises. Okay. I'll send it to you. That might change your mind.
Oh, about cruises? About going on cruises?
Yeah, that might change your mind.
What do you?
Hey, go check it out.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna. But before we get out of here,
Yep.
so there was this. You know, so we gonna end this podcast with like places that people have tweeted us or like tweeted out that you should visit. And we gonna talk. So our list, and then I saw this tweet from Magic Johnson of his top 60 places to visit. And I guess
it's crazy how he's been everywhere, all these places.
this dude, well, he has all this money, so he can't afford to go everywhere.
Yeah.
But let's talk. Let's talk a bit more about that. So, Will, what is your, I guess, like places that you think people should visit that you've been, and places that you want to go but haven't gone yet.
Okay.
As of now, as of today, that might change.
As of today,
yeah.
I personally will say right now one of the places that you should go to is Thailand. Thailand. I've been to Thailand. I was there last November. Yeah. It was literally probably the stuff that I experienced there. I can't it won't disappear. Like it's
so memorable.
It's very memorable. Like for example, I was in a cage with tigers, but it sounds crazy and all right now, but I was in a cage with tigers. I was petting tigers. I was bathing with elephants there. I went to, but
you was in a cage with tigers. So.
They weren't live tigers. I mean, they
were dead.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
they were like awake, but they weren't like furious. They weren't like mad.
Okay.
So they were very tame and controlled. So that's
like the tiger that eats somebody's face. That dude that was like a circus person. But they were calm.
Yes, they were calm.
They said the tiger was calm until he ate the guy's face.
So that didn't happen to anybody. But yeah, we visited some temples there while we were there too. Yeah. It was very peaceful and quiet. The sanctuaries that we visited, it was just different. Like the whole aspect, the culture was different. Even the currency is definitely different from the U.S. dollar. So you literally feel like you're coming from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah. Going there, the currency is definitely different.
Yeah, it's higher.
Yeah, it's definitely higher.
You be balling.
But another place is, let's think. I personally like LA. You have a different viewpoint, I know, of LA.
No, I haven't been, so that might change.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you have a viewpoint in terms of price point.
Yes.
But yeah.
So I personally wouldn't live in LA, but like just to visit, it's a good getaway trip. A quick getaway trip.
Like a flight
yeah,
back, flight there, flight back.
Yeah, flight there, flight back. Okay. Let me look at the list. Let me see what Magic Johnson said.
So while you're looking, Magic tweeted, Magic Johnson, the basketball player, the mogul, the legend for the Lakers. Irvin Magic Johnson. Okay, so he has in his top. I'm gonna list the top 10. All right, Argentina. What is that? Antigua.
Let's see.
Mine's kind of small.
So he has Amsterdam, Anguilla, and.
Sorry. Amsterdam.
Yeah,
okay. Amsterdam, Anguilla.
Yep.
What's the other one?
Antibes, Athens, Auckland, the Bahamas, Barbados, Barcelona, Berlin, and Bonifacio. Sorry if we not pronouncing that.
Let me see on your phone because it's very small on my screen. Yep. The Bahamas, Barbados, Barcelona, Berlin, Bonifacio.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that one.
I haven't heard of that one.
I'm gonna Google that one after this. Bonifacio. Okay. I haven't been to any of his top 10. There is 60 here, and we're gonna list the 60. We're gonna list 10 for 6 episodes. As we go through and see if we can get to places that we've been.
Actually, some on the top 10. I've been to the Bahamas.
So just one.
And my wife, she spends time again to Amsterdam. So,
Amsterdam, okay. Yeah, so you personally have been to
I've been to Bahamas. Yep.
Okay. I am interested in. I want to go to Freetown in Bahamas. Okay, I think it's in the Bahamas.
Freetown?
Yeah. I want to get it confused, but I think it's in Bahamas.
Okay.
So I've been wanting to go there. I think it has a lot of ties to like slavery. That's why.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been wanting to go there, and checking out the historical stuff, not just the results. But Amsterdam, I've never been. Even though I've been to Europe, like I go to Europe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like
4 times a year.
You were at least cross paths with Amsterdam.
Yeah, no, I haven't been to Amsterdam.
Okay.
Not yet. Anguilla. I haven't been. So I haven't been to none of his top 10. I'm not even gonna go through it.
I heard Anguilla was actually a very nice place.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say the list again, and then I'm gonna give you my places that I visited. Actually, yeah, and I want to go to in the future. So, so Amsterdam, Anguilla, Antibes, I don't know how to say it. Athens, Auckland, the Bahamas, Barbados, Barcelona, Berlin, and Bonifacio. Okay, so for future, I want to go to Barcelona so bad.
Right.
I was actually planning for October.
For this year?
Yeah.
Are you trying to go see Barcelona again?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to do too. But it won't be this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to go see Messi play this year, and especially if we get Neymar.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get him back from PSG.
Right.
Yep.
So it'd be Neymar, Griezmann, Suarez,
yep.
and Messi at the front, and then in the back we have Umtiti, we have
Shakira.
Pepe, Shakira, not Pepe, PK. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the classic Busquets. I don't know if they're gonna get rid of Rakitic, but he plays the midfield. We got Arthur, so I want to. This team has really good players. I really want to go see Messi play.
Right.
So I'm making plans for it. I don't know if it's gonna happen because I want Ghana also. For those that don't know, every December for the last couple of years, especially this year, it's called the Year of the Return. A lot of celebrities will be flocking to Ghana.
Okay. Yeah.
For the Year of the Return.
Okay.
So basically, if you could trace your ancestry back to Ghana, we welcome you to,
basically welcome in open arms to come celebrate.
And it's gonna be Afrochella.
Okay.
Which is one of the biggest musical festival in Africa. So, I don't know if I'm getting all the details right, but again, don't be mad if you're not. It's off the top of my head of why I'm going. I'm from there. I'll be there for Christmas, but mostly because I'm also going to be at the event. Last year I missed it by 2 days. This year I'm not going to miss it because I didn't know the exact dates. So I'm not going to miss it this year. So Ghana is the place that for people interested in going to Africa. South Africa, Ghana. I've heard great things about. Obviously, everybody goes to Egypt, but check out Nigeria, Togo, out east, Kenya, obviously, and if you go into Madagascar for the islands, go up. I think more
north.
Yeah. So yeah, those are like kind of places off the top of my head that I've heard great things about visiting in terms of Africa. Obviously, I'm biased towards Ghana because I'm from there. But yeah, so those are the places I would recommend. Places I've been that if you haven't gone, that you should go, just experience it once. Go to Salt Lake. It will surprise you.
Salt Lake, hey.
It will surprise you, Utah.
Okay.
It will really surprise you. Obviously, the Vegas. I really didn't like Vegas.
No, I've never been to Vegas. All the places I've been, I've never been. Planning on next year.
Next year?
No, seriously, next year.
What were you supposed to do for your bachelor party?
Seriously, next year.
Next year? All right. Now. So Vegas next year.
Yep.
All right.
That's the word that I'm getting, but it's through my family. That's why. That's how I know.
Oh, somebody else is planning it.
That's how I know it's kind of where it's at now.
Okay.
In the set in stone.
Okay. Yeah, you should go. If you're into gambling, if you're into like the nightlife, if you're into like heat, dry air, if you're into all that stuff, it might be the place for you. But there's every left, right, it's casinos, a lot of great entertainment centers, a lot of money.
Speaking of heat, where I'm trying to go, where I want to go for my 30th birthday, Dubai.
Dude.
Dubai.
You know my obsession with Dubai. I'm not even going to get into it.
Hey.
I'm like not like how it's built.
Yeah.
Like I have an
Yeah,
obsession
it's-
like with how it's built.
Yeah.
Like certain things about it, like man-made stuff that looks like phenomenal.
Right.
But yeah, look, dude, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for my 30th because it's coming, man. It's coming. But yeah, so magic list. We're gonna rattle off those 10.
Yep.
Next episode as well. The next 10.
Yep.
It's on his Twitter. If you guys know that, you can check out his Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, those are the places that I think I'm gonna look into in the future. Some of the stuff on his list. I'm a start cross out place that I've been. He actually does have Dubai on here.
Yeah, Dubai's on the list. Just not in the top 10, but it's on the list.
Well, I think it's alphabetical order.
Yeah, no, he literally lists from 1 to 30, and then from 31. Yeah, it's not. Oh, it is in alphabetical.
It's yeah. So this.
So it's not literally personal like top 10.
Yeah, it's not his top
but
places.
But it's like not on the alphabetical list. It's not on the 10.
Yeah.
But it's like further down.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you know, we're gonna get back with y'all on the next pod.
Yep.
On the next episode.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think this was, I honestly I love the list that he has. For the 60 places to visit. I'm definitely gonna cross the place I've been. I'm gonna kind of use this as a guideline, you know, for some of the places I'm gonna be looking to go.
This is actually a really good list.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know.
For him to sit there and do that, that's pretty impressive.
Oh man, yeah, my family's in St. They just went to St. Thomas. They could check that out before me. Oh, you know what you could cross off? You could cross off Rome. That's where I'm planning on next year.
You going to Rome?
Well, we're planning the honeymoon.
Oh,
so
yeah,
from there,
yeah.
we're trying to go there for a few days before taking the cruise.
Oh, I gotta send you that Patriots acting, man.
Oh man, but needless to say, from Venice and Rome, we're trying to visit those two, stay there for a while.
So okay, cool. Yeah, that's
we have to.
cool.
She wants to see the Vatican.
The Vatican. Okay.
And I want to see the Colosseum.
I teared up at the Colosseum.
Colosseum,
We could talk more about it.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Yep. On the next episode.
So on the next episode, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, no, I have pictures. I can show you the pictures off camera, but yeah, it's surreal. The Vatican I didn't do.
Okay.
The line was too long.
It was too long. Yeah.
Too long. And you have to do it way in advance.
Yeah.
But Rome was fun. And I want us to talk more about people, like the people we met. So next episode we're gonna touch
talk about interactions.
Yeah. Like, cause I've had great interactions with people and negative interactions with people. Place I haven't had negative interaction is Toronto. I've been there. I spent 2 weeks there. Oh, and Germany too. I didn't have negative interactions in Germany.
I can't wait to talk about China.
You went to China?
Yeah, I was there. I was there for a layover. So I was there for. They gave us a temporary visa.
Oh, okay,
so we could explore Beijing.
Oh, I gotta start because I have places I've been that I don't remember.
Yeah, that's why this list is actually a good guide to not only say okay, we've been in these places, but also for places that we want to go to in the future, planning to go to, just places I've never heard of.
What is it? Antibes. What is it?
Antibes.
Yeah, what is it?
Or even what was it? Bonifacio. I've never heard of that place.
Yeah, I don't think we're saying it right.
Yeah, forgive us if you actually do know the place. We're literally just reading off of a list. So
I've never heard of it. What other place haven't heard?
Let's see here. Johannesburg is a place that most people should already know off the back. Let's see, Brisbane, Buenos Aires. I'm just skimming.
Now you're listing off every.
Yeah, I'm just skimming the list right now.
Well, Monte Carlo.
Yeah, Monte Carlo. Everyone, Montego Bay. Everyone heard about that.
I think the only place I can't pronounce.
Oh, Ocho Rios. I've heard of that place. Let's see. Oh, Rio de Janeiro.
What is that? Negril?
Let's see. Yeah, Negril.
Okay, so Negril and Antibes. I've heard of Antibes, but I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong or right or whatever. And then I haven't.
Oh, he recommended Tokyo.
I want to go to
Tokyo.
Yeah, I want to go.
One of my friends, he went to Tokyo this year, and he like Mario Kart the game.
Yeah,
you could
they
literally do it.
Yeah,
I was
my
like,
coworker,
what?
my coworker did it.
Yeah,
and, like, they did throughout the street. Apparently, the people that live there hate it.
Yeah, I can assume that.
Because it's very disturbing and it's like traffic.
It's already busy enough there.
Yeah. So, but you have to get a license.
You have to get the
Yeah. So, but on that note, we don't want to like
over talk. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's been like an hour.
Yeah.
But we don't want to bore you guys out. We actually want to probably cliffhang it for the next episode.
One.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so on next episode, we're gonna talk more about like, cause the
people we met.
Yeah, the people we met, and also like maybe let's touch on like the place you want to go that I've been.
Okay.
And vice versa.
Okay.
And then we could kind of give tips.
Yep.
And like how to interact, where to go.
Tips. Yep.
Also, I'm gonna list out places I've been so far.
Okay.
Cause I just remember like I've been to so many places that I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
The last 5 years, so I need to actually sit down and do that. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's basically it for today's podcast. Like Felix just mentioned, we're gonna touch base next week on the people that we're gonna meet. I mean, the people that we did meet while on the trips,
and eventually,
eventually we'll meet.
Can forecast the future.
Forecast. Yeah, literally mind readers. Or literally like who we met, like how to interact with people, like different kinds of people that we met, like their personalities, depending on the places that we've been. Advices, like tips, and we love to hear like if you guys are listening, love to hear like any advice that you guys have of like places that you've been.
Yeah.
We just want to plug that in here because it's not just about us. It's about what we want to. We want this podcast also to be an interaction between the people that's listening as well with us.
And I'm gonna be honest, I pretty much wanted to start this so I get a list from people of places to go.
Yeah, that's that literally.
So let me know of the places that you guys been to or advice of some of the places we talked about. I know we brushed through some of the stuff and we could go back and touch more if you guys have questions. Our email eventually.